service, right? In our lifetime, we get the opportunity to actually be in service while another service is incorporating into an infrastructure. It is that momentous. It is that important. It is that special. And fine, you made it that. You made me understand that that day. So that's the preamble of the conversation. That's the preamble of why we are here today. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to quickly say some words. But the second half of this, I'm actually going to read verbatim from Major General Leah Lauterbach. Major General Lauterbach is the top intelligence officer in the United States Space Force. In fact, she is the first intelligence officer in the United States Space Force, and also the top intelligence officer in the Space Force. And General Lauterbach took the time to write each of you a note for this occasion. Right? It is that important to her. And if you don't know the demands on time for a two-star general at the Air Staff level, building up and setting up a new service, then let's have a conversation after this, because it is her job is quite demanding. But she took time for you. If you couldn't be here, she took time for you. We also tried to get Chief Toberman, the top enlisted member in the Space Force, and we had it pretty well cooked until something came up at the last minute that was personal to him. So I'm pretty sure he sends his regards. In fact, I'm not pretty sure. I know because we asked. But unfortunately, we couldn't get him to participate. So again, welcome, and let's just get straight into the why we are here today. We like to think that the Space Force is the future, and it is, but obviously the Space Force is also the now. And those of you that are officially transferring today are future leaders within it, both NCOs and our officers. It is so important to note that all of you, all these members, all of you that made that choice are volunteers. No one told them, no one told you that they had to switch services. Rather, they chose to do it to forge a new service culture, doctrine, and history. Space is now considered a warfighting domain. Our adversaries are continually looking for how to eliminate our space superiority because they know how space is crucial to the way we conduct warfare and, even more importantly, our way of life. Just think about it. How do you get here today? Most of you use either your phone or your GPS. I did it differently. I asked Chief Puma to give it. But, all right. I don't know if that worked, but I tried. But anyway, the bottom line is without space, sort of like synchronizing, integrating, coordinating how we get into this event, how we're streaming it live. We can't do it without space. We can't do it with the technology that beams out of space. Without space, the intelligence professionals training every day Good Fellow Air Force Base wouldn't be able to develop the skills they need to preserve our national security. And ultimately, to me, that is the point. And this is why I welcome, and I want to read you what General Lauterbach sent. Again, the director of the United States Space Force, ISR. We all have a tremendous responsibility in front of us. This is our charge to you. We all have a tremendous responsibility in front of us. Standing up a service does not come around very often. The Space Force's vision is to build a core ISR capability that will provide world-class intelligence at every echelon. Success will require your leadership, expertise, teamwork, and positive attitude. As the Space Force progresses, they will succeed and grow. They will have setbacks, but will find ways to overcome, just like their brothers and sisters among other military services. They will form, storm, norm, and eventually perform. This effort will not be easy, and there is a tremendous amount of work ahead. But our nation deserves the best ISR enterprise we can provide. This will be you. The Chief of Space Operations, General J. Raymond, has a top priority of establishing and maintaining norms of behavior on orbit, and these intelligence guardians will be key to America knowing who is behaving and who is not. I am proud of what these airmen have done for the United States Air Force and what they will do in the future for the United States Space Force as guardians. Their service is born from another, just like the Air Force was, and I'm proud that we've been able to shape each of them here at Goodfellow. I am honored to be part of the momentous occasion to recognize the transfer of these leaders. Thank you for being here today, and may God bless the new guardians. So with that, why don't we move to the official ceremony?
Yes, sir.
So what happens now? All right, sounds fantastic. All right, good.
Thank you, Colonel Nazario. Since its establishment on December 20th, 2019, the United States Space Force continues to stand up as a separate service to organize, train, and equip agile, lean, and forward-looking members in space. Those members in space will defend our nation, our allies, and our interests. During the next several months, more than 2,400 members in space-related capabilities around the globe will separate from the Air Force and transfer in to the Space Force, becoming Guardians. Now, those gathered today here in this planetarium will join over 4,000 service members already who have become Guardians. Now, it's a military tradition that newly transferred officers and enlisted airmen affirm their commitment to the armed services by taking the oath of office or the oath of enlistment to mark the occasion. This oath reminds us all of the significant pledge that American servicemen and women make to the support and defense of the Constitution of the United States. Listen carefully to the words of this oath. They speak to the significance of military service and why it's such a privilege to serve. Sir, if you could please come forward.
Yes.
As well as Captain Emily Meyer, First Lieutenant Robert Freeman, and Second Lieutenant Sean Grinnell. Please come forward.
Fantastic.
So,
I was told about your skill to be a great MC with your voice, and they were right. They told me about it.
sir, I don't know what they told you, but it could not have been true.
Oh, no, it is. It is fantastic.
So, some notes before we begin, sir. Family members, feel free to take photos of your guardians up here on the stage as they're going, and the audience can remain seated during the oath. Sir?
Okay, so this is fantastic. This is pretty special. I know the oath, but I usually mess it up when I try to say it or memorize it, and so I want to read it to make sure I don't mess it up, because there's a big change in it. And it says United States Space Force. Huge. Okay? Now, if you don't mind, please raise your right hand. Actually, what don't we all stand up? And raise your right hand. I state your full name.
I, Emily Jane Meyer,
Having been appointed
having been appointed a captain
in the United States Space Force,
in the United States Space
do
Force,
solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this oath of freedom
that I take this oath freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental
or
reservation
purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties
the duties
of the office upon which I'm about to enter.
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Will Technical Sergeant Joseph Helton, Technical Sergeant Iris Jennings, Sergeant Elijah Martin, and Specialist 4 Ian Struthers, please take your positions.
We have an Army person? You're a specialist.
That's our new senior airman, sir.
Oh, fantastic. So who's the, is that you?
Sir.
Senior specialist 4.
Yes, sir.
All right. I bet the people get your rank wrong all the time right now.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to do a quick oath of enlistment, if you don't mind. So please raise your right hand. I state your full name.
I, Andrew Lawrence,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same,
And that I will obey the orders
and I will obey the orders
of the President of the United States
of the President of the United States
and the orders
and the orders
of the officers appointed over me,
and the officers appointed over me,
according to regulations
according to regulations
and the Uniform Code
and the Uniform Code
of Military Justice.
of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Please join me in congratulating all of our newest members of the United States Space Force. Colonel Nazario, I believe the floor is yours again, sir.
All right, wonderful. Actually, you know what? I have a, sir, would you mind just closing remarks? Would you mind to start off for review? This was an alibi. I had not even talked to him about this, but I'm going to take an opportunity. It's not every day we also get the opportunity to share with a three-star general. So, sir, anything you want to tell the new Space Force?
Colonel Nazario, and then also Mr. Brooks, and all of you that are here, on behalf again of our United States Air Force, and more importantly, on behalf of the entire military in the United States of America, we happen to be the strongest, the best, the mightiest military, and it just goes to show that in what's happened here as we move towards the Space Force, and you're taking the oath in that fashion. It is true what Colonel Nazario said. I have never been able to experience something like this, having gone into the United States Air Force and then having retired from it as well. And to be able to see another sister service stand up and be a component from the United States Air Force makes me very, very proud. And on behalf of myself and Maria and all of the other retirees that have retired from whatever military service it might be, we also congratulate each and every one of you who have stepped into what many have called that final frontier. And it's great to be able to see that here today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony today. On behalf of the men and women of the United States Space Force, thank you for joining us in celebrating our newly transferred Guardians. Please rise for the playing of the interim U.S. Space Force March and the departure of the official party. Thank you all.
Simple secret that's in it.
Sure was.